everyone, so I have a pale skin swatches video for you today, and this is 4 of the e.l.f. matte lip colors, and I believe these are all permanent, but they came in a special holiday 2016 set, so I thought I would just swatch them all for you. I do love this formula, and I included it in my 2016 beauty favorites, so if you want to check that out, I will link it below. I think I've already done one of these for the 3 colors I had previously, Tea Rose, Natural, and Nearly Nude, but if not, I apologize. Maybe I'll get that one done soon. So the first color I'm going to do is Praline, and well, I'm going to put it on. So Praline is on me quite a deep nude. I am between around NC5 to NC10. Today I'm wearing the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in 110 for reference. My neck is generally lighter than my face, so I'm usually trying to get something a little closer to my neck. Totally not relevant for this lipstick swatch video, but there you go. So I do like this color quite a lot. It's like a kind of a warm nude type. It's a warm, deep nude on me. It is one of the more, it's not too creamy, not too shiny. It is, none of the e.l.f. matte lip colors in my experience are super duper matte, but they do have a nice lasting power. I feel like this color in particular, Praline, applies really easily. It's a nice mix of something a little bit matte, something a little tiny bit on the cream side, so it's just easy to wear. They do not have any sort of scent, but they do have a bit of a sweet taste, and I find that even after gotten all of it off my lips, I do still have a little bit of a kind of a sweet residue lingering on my lips. So they do basically taste sweetened, basically. But I like this color quite a bit. You can always blot it down to give it a little bit more of a matte look. And I find all of these colors will wear at least probably 4 hours with drinking and maybe light snacking. And the dark colors do stain quite nicely. So I will move on to the next color, and the rest of them are reds or berries. So Rich Red is definitely, in this one I have in the package at least, much more on the kind of cream satin side. It has a lot more slip when you're applying it. It doesn't lay down kind of that thicker but more matte layer. So I do find that this one is a little bit more prone to moving around. It's kind of a bright, slightly pink red. Let me just swatch all of these for you so you can see. Sometimes reds, you know, they all seem pretty similar. So the last two really are kind of a similar intensity. This Rich Red is a little bit more on the bright side, and Praline is not a red or a berry. So there are the colors. Here is Rich Red, and you can see it has a little bit more reflective quality, certainly compared to Praline, which really does look like a matte. This is Berry Sorbet, and that last one is Wine. So I feel like it's a very kind of brightening color on my face. I do like it for my skin tone. Like a cool yellow undertone is really more what I usually try to go for. It helps cancel out the redness in my face. So I feel like this color does look pretty nice with my skin tone and my coloring. And it's just a little bit easier to wear if it's blot down a little bit. So just one quick blot and you get a little bit more of a matte finish, similar to something like Praline. So I feel like it's a little less thick, it's slightly thinner, but it is very comfortable to wear. The darker shades, they do stain really nicely, so you can get, you know, a good like 8 hours as it wears away and leaves a very nice stain behind. And the stain isn't so tenacious that you can't get it off the next day. If you really exfoliate your lips, the stain will come off. So it's not, there are some things, like I had worn this ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in Sunday here recently, and for a good like day and a half I had just this patch of drier skin that even though I had exfoliated, this just would not let go of. Like I had gotten the product off, but the stain had just really clung on. So these do not stain in that kind of crazy manner, just in a very easy to wear manner. So even after just wearing it for a few minutes, it's gotten quite a nice little stain. So that's another way that I like to use these colors, and sometimes it ends up being kind of an accident where I put it on, decide, I don't know if I really want to commit to that with the baby that's probably going to smack me in the face and smear my lipstick all over, but it will give me a little bit of a stain. I don't have much pigmentation in my lips, so it will add a little color, and then I can add something on top of it, something glossy maybe that's a little more translucent, and then all of a sudden it's like I have more effort put into my face than it really took, so I enjoy that aspect. Next up I will do Berry Sorbet, and this one is more of a berry. I mean, look at this. I don't even know where that came from. Cleaning these swatches off my hand. Let's see. So let's get Berry Sorbet going. So Berry Sorbet is more like Praline, where it, I think, is a little bit drier, adds a little bit more of a thickness onto the lips, and feels like it's not going to move around too much. I feel like it's a super, super pretty color, kind of a deep pink, but still ends up being fairly brightening on my skin tone, which is something I love. I feel like if my makeup's looking a little weird, sometimes the best thing for me to do is just put on like a deeper, really bright lipstick, and all of a sudden it just kind of lifts my face a little bit and we're good to go. And I feel like this is a really lovely color in that way. And I bet it's something that would be so pretty on darker skin tones than mine. Oh, I can only imagine. It's such a gorgeous color. I feel like sometimes my face just doesn't do these things justice, but I do really like this color a lot. I haven't worn it as much as I've worn Wine, which has been kind of my favorite recently to wear from this set, but I think I need to give Berry Sorbet a little bit more attention because this is a gorgeous color. So pretty. All right, last one, Wine, a favorite. So this is the last one. It's not as, it's more of a kind of a blackberry-ish color, I would say. That's what I think of when I look at it. It's not quite as bright as the Berry Sorbet. It doesn't have as much of that pinky tone into it. It's a little bit warmer, but it's deeper, sort of. I feel like on my face it looks a little bit deeper as opposed to a little bit more of that kind of punchy pink undertone, pinky purple undertone. It's just a little bit more of a warm purple undertone. So I feel like it just looks very classy, very nice. I quite enjoy this color on my face personally. And it also, I would say it has a teeny tiny bit more slip than Praline and Berry Sorbet. But it's still not nearly as kind of glossy of a finish and thin as Rich Red. So very easy to wear. Again, it's going to leave that nice stain, and so lovely. So I would definitely recommend that set if you can still find it. It was $10, which I believe, yeah, that's a savings on top of buying, savings compared to buying these all individually. But I will write a little correction if it's not the case, but I'm quite sure that all of these are permanent colors, so you can pick them up separately if you want as well. A couple other things I wanted to mention about these lipsticks. I have, I think, one or two of these, definitely my older ones like Tea Rose, that have broken on the inside, so they are still usable, but you just have to be careful about like carefully taking off the cap, because otherwise it will just go flying. So that is kind of a bummer. They also have a sharpener in the end, so if you do want to sharpen it back to the point that it came with, you can definitely do that. I find that since it's quite a small lipstick, that even with these darker colors, I have no problem applying it with just the rounded tip. And yeah, so I think those are the only two things that I forgot to mention that I wanted to include. So yeah, so let me know if you have any questions, if you have any requests for swatches. I always do like hearing that from you guys. It's nice to do something that people are actually looking. So if you're interested in these kinds of videos and you are not already subscribed, think about subscribing. I try to put out a video about once a week. Sometimes it's once every 2 weeks. 2 kiddos, they take up a lot of my time right now. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.